I just thought about sharing my ownership review. And today we are going to discuss about my ownership experiences, pros and cons of this vehicle, and general competition with other. Begin with, let's start with the engine. So this is 125cc liquid cooled 4-stroke motor which produces around 8.2 PS of power, and it's a fuel injected motor, and it has that electric starter which is having a function of start stop when you are at the signal or you're just crawling. So Street Rally being their top end model, it is equipped with some additional features like this knuckle guard, this Maxxis tires, this DG console, and of course this paint scheme. Let's discuss about the styling part. So it is having all these sharp edges, this cowl, and as I discussed, it's having this knuckle guard, sort of rugged look. This daytime running indicators, motorcycle type turn indicators, Yamaha logo, and this decals. From the back it is having sort of octagonal shaped tail lamp and these indicators, chunky grab rail. The seat seems to be a wide. Overall from this angle it looks quite beefy, and yes, the styling is quite distinctive. Now talking about the under seat storage, this bike is having 21 liters of storage which can mount a regular helmet, and the fuel tank opening is here only, not the externally one, and you only get this as your toolkit. The brakes, it gets disc setup at the front which is having a Niffin calipers, and at the back it's a regular one, but these are having a combi brake features wherein even if you press the front lever, brake lever, even the rear setup also gets activated, so that's quite a good thing. Talking about the tires, we get 90-90-12 tubeless at the front and 110-90-10 at the back. These are of Maxxis brand which only comes on the Street Rally edition. Now let's talk about what are the pros of this bike against the competition. I would say this is the one of the lightest bike, having 99 kg of curb weight. Second point I would say is the styling. It is having this distinctive straight lines and it looks kind of beefy. Alloy patterns look simple and it's quite nice. Then it gets all the basic things like front brake disc and the start stop switch. Then as an accessory it gets a mobile charger, a 125cc fuel injected motor, and sort of modern design. Furthermore, this bike is very fuel efficient and it returns me around 50 kilometers per liter with my type of riding, which is quite, you can say I ride little bit. So another pro I would say is the seat height, which is just 785 mm. So even shorter riders will not have a trouble in riding this bike, and even like female riders can consider this. In fact, this is being used by my wife, so she's not having any issues. She's 5'6". Another con is these Maxxis tires, which are quite wide and having this block pattern grip, which is ideally for Indian condition, you can say potholes, rough roads. It's quite good, but you need to be careful when you are riding. So this 125cc motor is quite smooth. This is how the exhaust sounds. Now talking about the cons, we will start with this footrest area. This design elements looks quite sharp, but when you want to put something like some sort of big box or something, like how we Indians do, that time you might face some issues. Second thing, what issue I faced during this ownership period is there were some jerks which were observed when you were initially accelerating. It was like as if your bike is going to get separated in two pieces. So what the service center guys they do is remove this cover, and the variometer belt is there. They do some adjustment over there, and with that right now the problem is resolved. Then next thing I didn't like is the seat. Now you can observe it's having so much motion. The joints here are of plastic, and I don't think so they are going to last for a longer period of time. And this lock here, it gave me a lot of issues. It was not accepting, the seat lock wasn't getting locked. We had to bang it again and again, and this issue has repeated twice. So if you guys are having this same issue, you can discuss with your authorized service center. They will do the needful and give it to you. So now talking about the competition part, before buying this bike, I had even thought about TVS Ntorq. So why I didn't buy it? Overall weight of the TVS Ntorq is quite high compared to this. This being 99 kg, it was quite light. Then mileage issue. For me, mileage factor was also a very important task, because this was supposed to be a daily commute, wherein every day there was a travel kilometers of around 60 to 70 kilometers. So in that pattern, it gives me around 50 kilometers mileage per liter, whereas TVS Ntorq BS6, it used to return around 35 to 40 based on your driving pattern. And then yes, in that case, in TVS Ntorq case, it was like it had some more features like Bluetooth connectivity, but personally I'm not supposed to be using that, because it's just for daily commute, it's not for my riding. It had features like this start stop, which kind of useful when you are in start go traffic or at the signal. Comparing all these points, I preferred to go ahead with this, and there was not much price difference between the TVS Ntorq and this. This costed me around 91,000 on road in Goa, and TVS Ntorq was coming to around 96. So there also I have saved some money, and I'm not disappointed with this bike at all. Being the Yamaha person from quite a long time, I also have a R15 V3, and Yamaha bikes are quite reliable if compared to the other competition. And with all these things, I shortlisted with this. I hope you like this video, and in case you have any doubts regarding to this vehicle, if you are planning to buy, If you already have issues, then you can just drop in comment section. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, wear your mask properly, stay home in this COVID area.